Pleasant morning, everyone. I'm Baño.
And I am Renan Espina Estobio.
And I am Jonathan Achacoso. And this morning, we will be presenting to you the research titled Reflective Practice, the Experiences of Pre-Service EFL Teachers in Teaching English. Authored by Omo Arifatul Aziza, Joko Narkamto, and Nor Arifa Drahat. Next slide, please. Our presentation will cover the following parts: the introduction, the problem, objective, methodology, result, conclusion, and our proposed framework designed based on the identified research gaps. For the introduction, becoming a professional teacher is indeed a complex process that starts long before entering the classroom. Pre-service teachers often begin building their understanding of teaching based on their own experiences as students. These early memories influence how they see teaching and shape their actions during teaching practice. One important way to support their growth is through reflective practice, thinking deeply about their teaching experiences to learn and improve. According to John Dewey in 1933, reflection means carefully thinking about what we believe and do. Later, Sean in 1983 added that teachers can reflect during teaching or reflection in action, and after teaching or reflection on action. Another type is reflection for action. Helps teacher plan ahead for future lessons, according to Farrell in 2012. These reflections help teachers find problems, think of solutions, and improve their teaching step by step. Next slide, please. Pre-service teachers may struggle with reflection due to limited teaching experiences, according to one of the authors of this research. But they can improve with tools like journals, peer feedback, and video recordings. Now, these tools help them see what went well and what can be better or what can be improved. Now, this study aims to explore pre-service teachers' experiences in reflecting on their teaching during the teaching practice program, as reflection is seen as a key strategy to support teacher professionalism. Now, moving on to the research problem. Now, this study highlights that many pre-service EFL teachers struggle to effectively use reflective practice during their teaching practicum due to limited experiences, which affect their professional growth. Next slide, please. Now, moving on to the objective. The main objective of this research is to explore the experiences of pre-service EFL teachers in utilizing reflective practice during their teaching practicum. Next slide. Okay, the methodology of this research. This study used research designed to explore pre-service EFL teachers' experiences with reflective practice. Now, there are two participants in this research. The PSTA is a 21-year-old female with a GPA of 3.65, teaching in junior high school, having completed a 2-month practicum at the senior high school. She also attended a seminar on classroom learning activities. While on the other hand, PSTJ is a 20-year-old male with a GPA of 3.69. He has taught at an Islamic boarding school, an English camp, and during his practicum and attended seminars on teaching and self-management. For the data collection, next slide please. The study utilizes three main instruments. These are the open-ended questionnaire, the interview, and the document analysis. Now, the questionnaire is, according to Farrell's in 2012, this is used to gather preliminary insights into the participants' experiences with reflective practice, the challenges they encountered, and the impact of reflection on their teaching. Other than that is the semi-structured interviews. These interviews provided a deeper exploration of how participants engage in reflective practices and the benefits and difficulties they perceive. And lastly, the document analysis. Now, the researchers analyzed reflective journals and other written records related to the participants' teaching practices to gain further context and understanding. Now, for the data analysis, the researchers employ the interactive model of the qualitative data analysis, which involves the stages of data collection, data condensation, data display, and drawing conclusions. Now, to continue with the presentation of the results and recommendations, I would like to invite my group mate, Reynalyn Estobio, to proceed.
So once again, good morning everyone. So here are the research findings or the result of the study. So pre-service EFL teachers use open-ended questionnaires, interviews, and document analysis in a narrative, qualitative design. So fun-specific ways. So these teachers engage in reflection. First is reflection in action. It happens during teaching. The pre-service teachers in this study utilize reflection in action through questioning. So asking students simple questions like any difficulty, any problem, or do you understand? So during the lesson to identify problems, this was done when the teacher observed student behavior suggesting that lesson wasn't going well. Students would sometimes ask for clarification or vocabulary help in response, so the teacher would respond directly at that moment. Second is analyzing the class condition directly, so critically observing the class activity and students' condition during teaching. For instance, one teacher noticed students looked tired and bored, inferring this was due to the timing of the class before a break after studying all morning. So this analysis prompted immediate actions like stopping the material delivery and introducing an icebreaker or game to remotivate the student. Next slide, please. So reflection on action. So it occurs after teaching. The pre-service teachers primarily engage this through memorizing the problems. Instead of using tools like audio or video recording or writing notes on the lesson plan, they tended to remember the problems that arose during teaching and discussing with the teacher and peers. So they would discuss the remembered problems and issues from their previous teaching sessions with their teachers, peers, and supervising lecturer. Next slide, please. And reflection for action. It involves considering potential problems or situations that might occur in future teaching. The pre-service teachers practiced this by predicting and preparing materials and anticipating questions students might ask in next lesson. Next is discussing future lessons, using discussions with teachers and peers to prepare for future teaching, focusing on lesson plans, learning activities, and materials. Next slide, please. So here are the recommendations of the study. So the key conclusions and recommendations drawn from the findings are: so need for experience. So it was found that English teachers need to be more experienced to utilize reflective practice properly and professionally. So pre-service teachers were found to have limited teaching experience, which affects their involvement in reflective practice substance, reaching only the second level out of 4 levels of reflection. So the second one is need for guidance and facilitation. So this guidance could help them engage in reflective more professionally, potentially by using particular tools and getting specific training. So this support is seen as potentially successful in training pre-service teachers to focus on their role as teachers. So pre-service teachers need to be guided and facilitated by relevant parties, such as the department program and supervising teacher at the school. In summary, while the pre-service teachers did engage in different types of reflection, using methods like questioning, direct observation, memorization, and discussion, so the study indicates the more experience and structured support are needed for them to fully and professionally utilize reflective practice. So here is Ms. Baño to present our framework.
Okay, good morning once again. Now, I am Mary Jane J. Baño, who will be presenting to you the proposed framework. So this time is the presentation of our proposed framework. Now, as what you have seen in the framework, it includes the 3 types of reflection. Now, reflective practice is a critical component of teacher development, especially for pre-service EFL teachers who are still gaining experience. Now, it involves three interconnected types of reflection: reflection in action, and reflection for action. First, reflection in action. It occurs in a real time during teaching. Then it requires teachers to think on their feet and make decisions and adjust to unexpected situations such as student confusion or classroom disruptions. Now, this type of reflection fosters flexibility, responsiveness, and situational awareness, which are vital for effective teaching. Now, after the lesson, which is the reflection and action, of course, where it allows teachers to evaluate their performance, assess student engagement, and identify what worked well or what could be improved. This post lesson reflection supports critical thinking and helps uncover patterns and areas for professional growth. Building on these insights, reflection for action is a forward looking process that informs future teaching decisions. Now, it encourages intentional planning and proactive strategies based on past experiences, aiming to enhance lesson effectiveness and student learning outcomes. Now, together, these three forms of reflection form a continuous learning cycle where teachers respond during teaching, evaluate afterward, and plan for the future. Now, this cycle not only improves teaching practices, but it also plays a significant role in strengthening the professionalism and confidence of the pre-service teachers over time. Now, uh, that is the importance of our proposed framework. That is the relevance of our proposed framework. Now, let's proceed to the conclusion. So, the conclusion, as first stated in the study, to become a professional English teacher, one needs to consider various aspects that can help improve their teaching practice. Now, reflection, in particular, is a considerably significant modal where for developing English teaching professionalism. Reflection requires English teachers to examine what they have done in the classroom, how activities proceeded, student performance, and achievement, and the reasons behind these outcomes. And this process involves critical thinking and linking these observations to the English lesson. And this study notes that various tools can be used to utilize reflection, including video recording, teacher teaching journals, peer discussion, and many more. So the conclusion also highlights that pre-service teachers need more teaching experience on uh, order to be able to apply many strategies for uh, reflecting on their teaching. This is because the amount of teaching experience impacts pre-service teachers' critical thinking when engaging in reflection. And that ends our presentation of the research article that we have read and the proposed framework which was presented earlier. Thank you.